Hi guys, so today in class we are going to, or should I say tomorrow in class, you should be watching this video the day before, the night before we actually have class. So we're going to be working on tomorrow, converting from slope-intercept back to standard form. Now we've been solving for y for a very long time now, for a few months. So how do we go backwards? First, let's go back over the steps that we take in solving for y. So the first thing you always want to do is you want to move x. And you want to do that by either adding or subtracting. So I have a negative 3x right here. The opposite would be to add 3x. Now, we've gone over this several times. You always want to practice bringing x down first before the y-intercept, before that extra term. So I'll bring down my 2y, 3x. It's a positive 12, so don't forget to put in that plus sign connecting both of those. And then the last step would be to divide by the number in front of y. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to divide by 2 on each term. I'm just going to bring this line, make that a little bit, go that a little bit lower. So divide by 2. Remember, it turns every single term into a fraction. So you want to simplify. 3 divided by 2, they're both positive, not going to change. Don't forget to reattach that x, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6, so plus positive 6. And now you have your answer, and it is in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. Now, the day after tomorrow, so on Friday, we're going to be working with equations or, with equations that are in standard form. Standard form, if you'll notice, is where you have both x and y on the same side of that equal sign. So we need to figure out how to work backwards. And in order to do that, the first thing is we're going to have the equation in slope-intercept form. I'm going to switch colors here. We're going to have that equation in slope-intercept form, and we're going to move the x term back. We're going to work backwards. So the opposite of positive 2/3 x is going to be to subtract that 2/3. It's going to cancel out on that side. Now, if you'll notice in standard form, the x is in the front. So I'm going to bring that one down first. -2 over 3x. This is a positive y, so plus y. And then on the other side, we're going to bring that 4 down. Now, the last step is going to be to distribute by the bottom number of the slope. And you're also going to include that negative if the x term is negative. So we want to distribute by that denominator, it's the correct term. So we're going to distribute the whole equation, not just one side of it, the whole thing by that number at the bottom. And since it has a negative, I'm going to distribute or multiply by a -3. So easiest way to distribute, you want to put that in parentheses, and then we've talked about it many, many times. Distribute means to multiply. So we're going to take that -3 and we're going to multiply by each term on the inside. In this case, yes, it could transfer over to the other side. Or you could also write it by -3 this way, up to you. Let's just do it that way. That way you guys don't get confused with this line right here in the middle. So we're going to do it that way. Okay. So now when you multiply -2/3 times a -3, it'll just give you a +2. Positive 2x, and then -3 times y, -3y. Now remember that line does represent an equal sign, so I'm going to bring down my equal sign, and on the other side, -3 times 4 is -12. and you now have an equation that's in standard form. So we'll do a few more practice problems in class, and then you'll have the rest of the class period to do that assignment. If you have any questions, send us a message on Schoology or on Remind.